Hello and welcome back to my channel. And today we're going to continue our discussion on Sankhya philosophy. We're going to start with Purush Vichar. Purush is conscious in nature and is an independent reality. It is eternal, beyond space and time, and above Satya, Rajas, and Tamas gunas. So we have read earlier that Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas are the three gunas of Prakriti, whereas Purush is basically a conscious being and it is eternal and beyond space and time and above these three gunas which are sattva rajas and tamas. Its essence is pure consciousness. Like the sakshi in vedanta, it's the neutral witness. Purush are many and inactive, so there are many purushas, and it refers to the plurality of the Sankhyan philosophy. The Purushas are many and inactive and is neither the cause nor the effect. Whereas we have read earlier that Prakriti is the root cause of all the material things of this world. However, Purush is neither the cause and nor the effect. Other than Purushas, all the realities are the products of Prakriti or the evolutes of Prakriti. So there have been some proofs given for the existence of Purusha. The first one is a teleological proof. Objects of the world like tables, chairs, body, and senses, which are composed of parts, are the means to realize the ends of other beings. So these are just the means in order to realize the ends, in order to realize the wants or desires of other beings. These beings whose purpose is served by worldly things must be different from all material things. So somebody who's actually enjoying these things must be different from these, right? A table cannot enjoy being seated on it, or a chair cannot enjoy being seated on a table. These are two different things, and these material things cannot enjoy themselves, or they cannot realize the ends of other beings. So, these beings whose purpose is served by worldly things must be different from all material things. This implies that there should be a conscious entity beyond unconscious body and mind. So, in order for somebody to actually reap the fruits of Prakriti, there has to be somebody who's actually enjoying, and this person or this entity should be beyond unconscious body and mind. All these physical entities are all means for realizing the ends of conscious purushas. So, these material things are just the means for realizing the ends of conscious purushas. Prakriti evolves in teleological sense to serve Purusha's end. So Prakriti is evolving for the sake of fulfilling the purpose or fulfilling its purpose of making Purusha enjoy its fruits. So this is a teleological argument because it was trying to depict how Prakriti evolves and the evolution of Prakriti is, or what the fruits it bore, are reaped by and enjoyed by as means for realizing the ends of the conscious Purush. This argument is called Sanghat Pararthatvat. The second argument is logical. All objects are composed of three gunas. Therefore, we have to logically presuppose the existence of Purush who is the witness of these gunas and is himself beyond them. So, as we've read earlier, that all of these objects in this world are composed of three main gunas, and uh, logically thinking, there has to be something. You have to presume something which is the witness of these three gunas and is himself beyond these. The three gunas imply the concept of Nishtray Gunya, that which is beyond them. This proof is logical, and this argument is called Triguna Divi Paryayat. Paryayat. The third argument is that there must be a transcendental synthetic unity of pure consciousness to coordinate all experiences. So, all the experiences which we have experienced so far, there has to be some unity which is a storehouse of all our experiences. So there must be a transcendental synthetic unity of pure consciousness, which is beyond space and time, which is beyond this change and fluctuations. All knowledge necessarily presupposes the existence of the self. The self is the fundamental postulate of empirical knowledge. So there has to be a self who is actually gaining all of this knowledge, who is actually storing it, and who will use it sometimes. But there has to be a storehouse of all the knowledge or experiences you are gaining. So all knowledge necessarily presupposes the existence of self. The self is the fundamental postulate of empirical knowledge. All affirmations and negations presuppose the existence of self. Without it, experience is not at all possible. So you cannot say you have experience because there is no proof of it or there is no storehouse of it. Let's say you are just watching this video. What is a proof that you are watching, or what is the proof that you would remember it? There's no proof, anyways, that you may remember it. But philosophically speaking, that I'm presupposing that there might be people who will be watching it and there might be someone not. And this leads to the ontological argument, which is called the Adhishthanat. Uh, Adhishthanat is basically the foundation or base of the emergence of something. It is the essence of something. So that is why we call these as the ontological argument. So this is like accepting the self. There has to be self who is actually gaining all of this knowledge and experience. The fourth argument is all worldly objects are of the nature of pleasure, pain, and indifference, which are the products of Prakriti, Rajasic, Tamasic, and Sattvic. Pain and pleasure have meaning only when they are experienced by someone. So even if they are not experienced, they have no existence. They are of no value or no meaning if nobody is experiencing pain or pleasure. How would you know that there is pain or pleasure if somebody has not experienced it at all? So pain and pleasure have meaning only when they are experienced by someone. Unintelligent Prakriti cannot experience own products. Hence, there must be some conscious entity that enjoy and suffer pain and pleasure respectively. So there has to be somebody who is actually enjoying and suffering at the same time, who is actually reaping the fruits of Prakriti, be it pleasure or pain, because Prakriti is unintelligent, right? Prakriti cannot uh, reap its own fruits, or Prakriti cannot experience its products. This argument is ethical. Bhokta, Bhoktru Bhavat. So this is actually pointing out to a bhokta or the enjoyer or experiencer of pain and pleasure associated with the worldly things. The fifth argument is religious or a mystical argument because they are persons who try to attain liberation from the suffering of this world. So everybody over here is trying to attain liberation or trying to get rid of the suffering whichever they have faced or whichever they think they'll face in this world. Such a desire implies the existence of a person who can try for and obtain liberation. So there has to be somebody who has tried or who can try and obtain the liberation and who can get rid of the suffering of this world. Aspiration presupposes the aspirant. So in lines with their philosophy, aspiration presupposes the aspirant. So since you are having this desire to attain the liberation, since you are having the desire to forego all the suffering, there has to be something called liberation as well. So this proof is mystical or religious, which is called the Kaivalya Artham Pravritteh, or the need or desire or wanting for liberation. So they are persons who try to attain liberation from the suffering of the world. Such a desire implies the existence of a person who can try for and obtain liberation. Aspiration presupposes the aspirant. So your aspiration to turn into a civil servant presupposes the aspirant. Anyways, so what is Purush Bahutva or Bahush or Bahupurushvad, which is the plurality of the Purushas? Unlike Advaita Vedanta and like Jainas, Samkhya believe in the plurality of the transcendental selves, that is Purush. So this is in contrary to the Advaita Vedantan philosophy, whereas similar to that of the Jaina philosophy. What they're trying to say is that they believe in the plurality of the transcendental selves. They believe that manyness of reality, manyness of the Purush. These cells are essentially alike but numerically different. So in essence they are all same, but numerically by the varying degrees of gunas they are different. Their essence is consciousness. So consciousness is the essence and it is for all of them. It is a quality which is possessed by all the Purushas. Purush is beyond the three gunas which constitute the Prakriti. So what they're trying to basically determine is they're trying to differentiate between man, women, animals, plants. This difference can only be expressed by Bahupurushvad. First argument is that there is an obvious difference in the birth and death and the sensory and motor organs of different individuals. So obviously there are very distinguishable differences between two different individuals, two different organisms. So there is an obvious difference in the birth and death in the sensory and motor organs of different individuals. The birth or death of one individual does not mean the same for all individuals. So even if one person dies, it does not mean that all of the human race is now extinct. Also, pain, pleasure, and indifference are felt by different individuals differently. So, what might be a just minor hurt or minor inconvenience to you might be something which deeply boggled the other person or deeply hurt the other person. So, had there been only one Purusha, every individual will have same feelings, and death of one would have implied death of all. So, as we all know, that feelings are different for different individuals, and death is also different. So, what they are trying to say is that there is an obvious difference between different individuals, and we cannot say that they are all like that they are all the same. They are essentially alike, like the essence of consciousness is the same in all of them, but they are numerically different. They are different by their feelings, by their behaviors, by the sensory and motor organs, etc. Second argument is that if souls are one, then bondage of one should have meant bondage for all, and liberation for one would have meant that of all. So, if somebody would have got liberated or some guru would have got liberated, it would mean the liberation of all of us. But it's not the case, right? We have to strive for our own liberation. If it is not that if somebody got selected in an examination, it would mean that everybody got selected. You have to work uh, at your individual level, then only you would get the fruits. The activity of one should have made all persons active, and sleep of one should have lulled into sleep all other persons. And in a similar way, starting or the hard work of one would have gotten the rank to everybody. Would have got the rank to everybody. The third argument is from a normal experience. We can say that some human beings are dominated by sattvic guna, while others are by rajasic or tamasic guna. This implicates that no two souls can be same. No two souls can be same, as they possess varying degrees of gunas. So no two souls can be same actually because they have varying degrees of gunas. For somebody, they might be dominated with the sattvic guna, which is at a higher proportion, and then for somebody they are more dominated by the rajasic guna, and for some they are more dominated by the tamasic guna, and there may be individuals where there is a balance of all these gunas. So there is a varying degree of gunas, and we cannot say that the souls are same. No two souls can be same. They are essentially alike, but they are numerically different. Different because of their behaviors, because of their motor or sensory organs, and birth and death. So with this, we've come to an end of this video. Let's see you guys in the next one where we discuss about the criticisms of uh, Purush Bahatwa and the other topics like bondage and liberation related to Samkhya philosophy. I hope you would have liked it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Till then, see ya. Bye.